So obviously we want the Loogies to be big, and for the Loogies to be big, you and I need to be huge. We need to become, hopefully by December 20, some of the biggest acts in the world.
Yes.
And I brought this to the show a while ago. A couple episodes ago, I brought up the fact that I've kicked my phone away. Can you pass that to me, Ruben?
It was that Paul McCartney came out. He's one of the Beatles, by the way, if you're that young. Hopefully he didn't need an introduction, but
you should know who he is. He's part of one of the biggest and most influential music groups in the world, and he revealed in an interview that all of the Beatles actually had a couple of group wank sessions together, platonically, not involved with each other, just having a wank in the dark, yelling out names of sexy ladies. And and I think that could be a big reason why they're successful.
Can you platonically wank? You can't have a platonic cum.
Not completely, but as platonically as you... I would say in the dark, away from each other, in a ring, yelling out the names of people who are not there. That's about as platonic as a group wank can get.
I was going to ask, is it... do you all have to be in the same room?
Yeah, it's a group wank. Yeah, because if you're at home, that's just a solo, isn't it?
Bit of a Zoom wank.
Well,
true. That's COVID safe.
COVID friendly as well.
But never mind.
So what we decided to do is obviously we don't want to commit to this thing unless it is going to make us really successful and rich. So we came up with the genius idea to just reach out to our listeners and say, anyone who's had a group wank, tell us about it and finish off with obviously finish off cum, but then tell us exactly how much money you have in the bank.
Yep.
And obviously if we have a few rich listeners, it must work, right? So I got this one in from, he's emailed me and I have his real name, but down the bottom he's changed it. So I will use the changed one.
Yep.
Good save, mate. Got this one from Samuel. I once was involved in a group wank session. Went to a mate's house once, and him and his brothers decided to see who could jizz the fastest. So they decided to see who would ejaculate first into a SpongeBob pinball machine or something. They decided to see who would ejaculate first. One gets a show bag SpongeBob pinball machine.
Aren't we looking for success stories here? This
This guy can't even
sad.
finish a fucking sentence. He goes, well, I was sitting facing the corner of the wall and a door while they whack off. Then their mum walks in with dick in hand, and I'm squashed behind the door. I currently have $6,000 in the bank as well. Samuel. I would say...
That sounds like the saddest group wank of all time.
I would say that this doesn't give us conclusive results. $6,000 is a little bit of money, but it doesn't give us conclusive results because these are brothers. They're not working on something together.
Also, we were talking millions last week.
Yeah.
We were saying, let's become millionaires.
Yeah.
I'm not, I love you guys, but I'm not having a group wank with you guys for $6,000.
Yeah, it's not enough money. But I don't think this is what we're after. We want someone who's like being in a band or in a group.
Well, I've got some kind of... This is a somewhat success story. Now, it comes in from someone who's wanted to remain anonymous. And I'm also going to keep the band anonymous.
They did not keep the band anonymous, and it's very funny.
They're quite a well-known Australian band. Now, let's
Which
just...
is Sticky Fingers.
Did you say Sticky Fingers?
That's good. That is
we actually rule out Sticky Fingers. It wasn't Sticky Fingers. Just
it's wet carpet.
Yeah. So let's just call this guy Stephen. Yeah. Right? It's not his name. But right, let's just call him Stephen. Hey boys, I've got a masturbation band story for you.
Right.
So there's this band from Melbourne who are pretty popular. And let's just say they're a Triple J indie band.
Radio play. That's good.
Perhaps they're almost a household name at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe? Like, you knew who they were.
Yeah.
And that's pretty impressive.
If I know a Triple J band, that's big.
Yep. So he goes, so maybe about 6 to 10 years ago, a friend of mine was playing a festival up in Darwin with these guys headlining.
Festival headliners.
Yeah.
This is great.
I mean, in Darwin. So it's like,
Darwin, yeah.
If you're the support act in Darwin, oh boy. They got put up in the same hotel next to this band. And he said in brackets, the walls are paper thin. They start chanting their name and basically saying who's going to come first very loudly. This is the band they can hear in the other room.
Oh, like, wait. Changing the band name?
I think so.
So that'd be like if we're just having a wait, we're going Luke and
and
Lewis, Luke and Lewis,
Yeah, yeah.
Luke and Lewis. Hey!
Uh,
That's good.
and then basically saying who's going to come first. So that, yeah, you're chanting Luke and Lewis, and I'm like, Reuben, you know?
Yeah.
Like that. I assume that's what they're doing. So
Yeah.
they're doing the band name and then chanting band names of members individually.
Ah.
There might
Like
have,
trying to psych each other out. Think about your grandma. Think about your grandma.
he said them. I don't know how I reckon he's just put this in there for no reason because there's no proof of this. He said there might have been even a biscuit involved. So I've heard.
Well, you get those little, those little hotel bickies
Yeah.
on your bed pillow.
It's a popular frat game called Soggy Biscuit. It's disgusting. Don't play it.
Nah.
They were shouting for about 5 minutes, and then the room went quiet next door. Take it what you will from it, but these guys are the kind of guys that would totally do this. Definite fuckboy indie kids. Lovely, but full of themselves. And yeah, that was the
Well, they're obviously not
gist
full
of
of
the
cum,
email.
are they?
But this band has since then has actually gone on.
Yeah.
Okay. This band has really gone on to succeed quite a lot,
That's good.
and there was
Well, okay. Well, then I
that's
think.
a success story.
Well, so that's 1 out of 2. So I think what we need to do is it doesn't really work.
You know, it's funny as well.
Yeah.
I've realized I've met one of the guys in this band multiple times.
Did he look rich?
No, I just now am looking back on all of my interactions with him, and I wish that guy hadn't have sent in that email. Now if I ever meet him again, I'm going to know about his group wank in Darwin.
That's good. You could ask him about it. Did you reckon it helped? Yeah. I think what we need to do now is to really get this conclusive evidence. We've talked to someone who doesn't have much money. We've heard a real success story.
Yep.
I think we need to modify it a little bit and change tactics. We're talking to people who have had a group wank and how much money do you have. That kind of work kind of didn't. What we need to do, switch tactics, talk to someone who's really, really rich and ask them if they've had a group wank.
Yeah, we need to
See
find
if it
out
correlates.
if there's a direct correlation between group wank and cash.
And even better than that, we can talk to the richest guy we know, someone who has more money than God.
Yep.
We'll call I'm Alex.
Okay.
Give him a ring.
How are we, mate?
Hi mate, how you doing? I've got your Christmas jumper here. Well, it's a Christmas jumper now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it's serving you well. We were actually calling you about something different, but that is good. It's come up on the show recently that we think there's a direct correlation between group masturbation and success.
Okay.
Yep, and you're probably the most successful person we know.
Yeah. So, and also English. The reason we found out about this is the Beatles in an interview. One of the guys from the Beatles said that he actually
Paul McCartney
Paul
said it.
McCartney said that he actually had a group masturbating session with the Beatles, and we kind of think that must be why they became so successful. So Luke and I are kind of debating over whether we should do it as a team to become successful.
But it's not really a group though. If it's just you two,
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of an intimate thing.
That's kind of just sex almost.
Well, that's what I did bring this up, Alex. Lewis brought this to the show, and I said, "Are you just trying to get me to wank with you?" It kind of seemed like he was trying to be like, "Oh, come on, we'll be really successful. Let's just try it."
Whose idea was it?
Yeah, it was. Well, really, it was the Beatles' idea. I'm just thinking, I'm on the fence about it. I only want to do it if it's going to make us rich.
Right.
So that's why we called you as an English rich person. Have you ever been involved in like any type of group masturbation session? Because we asked our listeners, we said, if anyone has had a group wank, tell us if you have and how much money do you have in the bank. And we got a few responses like $3,000, $35, but maybe it takes time to like come into effect. So we're kind of changing tactics and talking to rich people and asking them, have they ever had a group wank sesh?
Well, first of all, how long are you really willing to wait after you've done this for the success before you realise that maybe you've just had a group wanking session?
I'm happy to stick it out for a decade before I regret it.
10 fucking years.
Yeah,
Things take time, mate.
success takes time.
Do you reckon if you do it once, you'll do it more just to try to hopefully speed up the process?
True.
We could have 10 wanks. It'll take a year.
That's true.
I love the logic there.
Um,
Or it won't happen at all when you've just done it
Yeah,
No.
he's Alex,
I
you.
can tell you I haven't. I have not
Okay.
done this ever.
Mm,
But
So
as
how did you?
mentioned
Hang
it,
on. Did you get successful just through
hard work.
hard work and dedication to
I
your
go
craft?
far.
Okay, good. So there is some kind of
I
secret.
pushed the boat out.
That's good. That's good. So
Okay.
hard work's out. What were you saying?
I mean, maybe for me, it's a lot of solo wanking sessions have just added up to accumulate that. So I've overworked myself
True.
with all the time I spend alone.
Have you wanked to a gangbang? That maybe that counts. It's a yes.
It's a yes.
It's a yes.
Okay, that's the key.
There's no way to go from here.
We, mate, we'll take your silence as to mean whatever we want it to mean. So that's great.
Okay, great.
Mate, thank you very much for joining us. We'll call you next time we have any type of.
I will not pick up again.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Thanks for being our resident rich friend.